morning and happy Monday. Always nice to have you join us for 3+U. I hope you're ready for the heat wave that we're going to be having this week. Kind of nice to say goodbye to the rain for a little while. Dr. Tiffany Ahlberg is kicking the show off with us this morning. She, of course, has Ahlberg Audiology in Cleveland and Athens. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So even though we're not going to have the pouring down rain this week,
Yay.
The humidity I'm sure is going to be high. So
Yes.
if you've got a hearing aid, that moisture can pose a problem.
Yes, we have seen a crazy surge of moisture issues in hearing aids. We have this professional dryer in the office, and it actually tells us in microliters how much moisture we're pulling out of people's hearing aids. And yesterday we had a 4.7 and a 5.0. To put that in perspective, we are normally, before a couple of weeks ago, we were seeing like 0.5 and high was 1.0.
So you're quadruple.
Yes, it has been.
Wow.
Yeah, it has been a crazy amount of moisture.
So what does that mean to the person wearing the hearing device?
So hearing devices are very moisture resistant these days, but still they're susceptible to moisture. And so I always think of the microphones being like a little wetsuit over, like they have a padding over the microphone, so the sound has to come in, but you have like a sponge almost that's protecting the hearing aid circuit, because you have like basically you have like a little computer sitting behind your ear, and so you sweat, rain, so they're very moisture resistant. But when they're just exposed to constant saturation of sweat and just other types of moisture, then the sound is it's dampened as it enters into the
quite
hearing
literally.
aid. And so it just makes everything sound muffled, and so it even though it's hopefully not affecting, unless it's long term for extended periods of time, it's not getting into the circuit, but still it doesn't. Everything sounds less clear.
Okay, so with a stretch of 90 degrees plus, humidity's high, and we're all going to be sweating for sure. So is that something to clean or dry once a week, every day? What do you do?
So it depends on the person. We have found that everybody is so different, and so I will have one person who's, they don't sweat a lot, they don't have a lot of moisture issues.
I envy those people.
Yeah. And whenever we test them in our dryer, if there's an issue, we'll bring it to their attention. But again, we had two people yesterday that were on the higher levels. Well, both of those, I recommended that they get their own electronic dryer so that they're able to dry in between appointments at home. Some other things to consider are they have things. One of the things is called ear gear, and again, I'm going to use the scuba diving wetsuit scenario, but you put it over the hearing aid and it keeps the moisture off of the hearing aid. So for people who sweat, one of those people worked in a really, really hot warehouse, and so it's constant every day, 85 to 90 degree temperatures. So I did recommend that for him. And they also have little headbands. People ask me, can I wear these when I'm in water aerobics? And you can, and most of the time people aren't going to get them really, really wet, but it's called an ear bandit, and it just goes around the ear almost like a headband around the hearing aids. And so that's something that people can use too. Or if people are kayaking or going down the Ocoee River, which a lot of people do every summer.
Yeah, well, and the whole part of it, the whole thing is you get these hearing aids so that you can go live your life.
Yeah.
You then don't want to have the equipment prevent you from living your life.
Right.
So the dryer that you have in the office, is it big or small?
The one we have, it's just a little box. It's very expensive. People probably wouldn't want to invest in that, but they do have the home versions, which are a lot less expensive.
We talk all the time when you're here about kind of the misconceptions that people have, and so often you think about older people being the ones to need the hearing devices, but you're seeing it at younger and younger ages. So I think for children too, especially, this would be very helpful.
Yeah.
To remember.
To be outside and play on the playgrounds and things like that, very important. Yes.
I almost hate to even say this because it's just now summer. And yet school around here starts back so early.
Yep.
So parents are going to be beginning to think in July about scheduling physicals and all the stuff. If you suspect that your child might have a hearing issue, is it good to get an appointment with you?
It is. If you question it all, like if your child is hearing, obviously it's so important to know, just to have that those questions answered. I mean, some of the pediatrician offices will do like a screening, and they'll refer to us if the child doesn't pass the screening. But yes, we see children all the time and test them.
I know that you talk about the need to wear protective gear when you're out mowing the lawn and that kind of thing, protect your hearing. If somebody has not done it or whatever and they're struggling with tinnitus, is that anything you can help treat?
You have to wear, first of all, even if you have hearing loss, you can get more hearing loss. You have to protect your ears. You have to protect your ears. You have to protect your ears. So important to wear hearing protection. But if you already have tinnitus, again, it's just another reason to wear hearing protection. The tinnitus is caused because of the deterioration of some of those sounds, and there's not access to the brain for certain frequencies. So if we're able to stimulate those frequencies with sound, whether it be a masker or whether it be a hearing device, that will help with the tinnitus. But the more damage there is, the more tinnitus there is, so you gotta start protecting if you haven't already.
All right, and if you are 50 or older and you haven't had a baseline hearing test, I know she would recommend it. 2 locations where you can find her and the full team at Ahlberg Audiology, the original one there on Ocoee Street in Cleveland, and now they're also up in Athens on Congress Parkway. Check out their website, ahlbergaudiology.com. And what were the 3 things? Protect your hearing, protect your hearing, protect your hearing.
Very good. You learn fast.